Hello, guys. Back for part 15 of Nightly Chat. Part 16 of Nightly Chats. Sorry. Um, Today is Sunday. Well, yes, it is just Sunday since right now it is 2 in the morning. So, recording a video before I sleep. Like always. But, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about today. Well, tonight, but I think I'm gonna talk about more OCs of mine because I kind of wrote some down. I've been writing more, doing more things. So I think that is what I'm going to do. Let me move this slide a bit more. Perfect. So also with my schedule of like releasing videos, I do want to do like at least at least 4 per week, at the max 5, because again, if I right now, yes, I am still a small, like not even small, like a minuscule creator, right? But if I released like a video, let's say every single day, I would burn out because I would have to constantly try and talk. I'd constantly try and think up of things, and that would just like, if I burn out, which I haven't yet. Also, I think that's my elbow. That is my elbow. We do look at that. But if I burn out, I'm going to be out for like a couple of days because I think I've only burnt out once in like my entire life so far, in terms of like when it comes to art. When it comes to art, I burn out like maybe I think once or twice before, but it was not good. Burning out sucks. It just straight up. God, why I'm so sleepy. Maybe that's why. But it sucks. Burning out sucks because you want to do things, you want to create, you want to do stuff, and you just can't. It's like your brain's telling you, nope, I'm not gonna do anything today, and all you want to do is just do things. Anyways, I should probably talk about an OC. I want to talk about. I forgot what OC I talked about. Damn. I want to talk about a specific OC. Not a concept. Like, I've talked about concepts where like they're the big, like the foundation of my story. But I want to talk about, I think, Faith. No, I talked about Faith. I do remember. I talked about how he's like his major flaw is that he's incredibly naive into always trusting people, always believing someone there's a second chance. How he's very naive when it comes to things, and that eventually comes back to bite him in the ass. But I want to talk about another character of mine, because in my story, well, technically there are 3 stories, but they're all like the setting they take in place in is connected, right? They all take place in the same universe, and in the final story, they all come together to be one. So basically, this character was actually one of my first ones, and actually one of my most, like, I think the longest OC I've had in my life so far, because he's gone through multiple, like, different designs, multiple different backstories, multiple different, suffering, yada yada yada. I'm sure everyone who has had an OC or has thought of one or has one at the moment has, everyone has like one OC that has stuck to them, that stuck with them since like they started creating. And mine is, again, names are not my strong suit, as you can probably tell from everything I've my thumbnails. They are literally just, I don't know how to do a good thumbnail. I'm not a good artist, so all I do are, as you can see in the thumbnail, is take a picture of the front. Again, it's supposed to be chilling, but and then I already folded it up, but the number, and then that's it. That's literally my title. So, what was I saying? Oh, right. His name is Senko. This because I want every story to take place in like a different setting per se. For instance, same universe, right? They are on different planets, but it's the same universe. They have the same technology, but it's all set in different time periods. But they're all like same technology, but in different ways. For instance, Senko is his time period is very much in like Edo, Japan. It is very like is very influenced by Japanese and by Japan. How like in the Edo period, where there's samurais, there's all these things still. That, but again, they all have the same technology. Another character of mine, another main character is Soul. Her story takes place in like kind of medieval, like a medieval. Again, it's all futuristic. So Senko's is like a more futuristic Edo, Japan. Soul is very much more. Her story takes place in more like a kind of like medieval, like a futuristic medieval setting. If you know the movie name Nemora, no, it is, yeah, Nemora. Why is it? I'm Nemora. Yeah, it is Nemora. That movie on Netflix, great movie, by the way. You should definitely go check it out. But if you know that movie, that is like it's futuristic medieval. Again, it's not gonna be the same. I'll probably make a lot of changes to it, but it's like that. It's a futuristic medieval, because Faith's story, his story takes place in like modern setting, right? Buildings, skyscrapers, cities, cars, planes, helicopters. That's when you might be saying, how does that make any sense? If one story takes place in Edo, like an Edo period Japan, one story takes place in like medieval Europe, and the other story takes not medieval but like medieval times, and then another story takes place in like modern day setting. How are they in the same universe? Because they're all in different planets. Actually, you know what? I'll make this topic about lore, about like the things I got so far. But they all live on different planets. It's the same universe. There's the same concepts, the same things. There's nothing different about it. They are the same concepts. The seven concepts that are the foundation of reality in my story. Again, life, death, light, darkness, hope, despair, and then the void. I forgot. I only talked about life and death a little bit. Well, life I talked about a good chunk. Death I haven't talked about a lot, and then I haven't talked about light, darkness, void, or hope or despair. Oops. But anyways, back to it. So it's in the same universe, but they're on different planets. But actually, it was all in one planet before. Because again, if we go through like a timeline that I've set up so far, there was a big, like 100-year conflict that destroyed they didn't destroy the world, but destroyed reality itself. And basically, despair, the concept, decided that humanity was a plague, that because of the evils that plagued humanity deserved better, and their misguidance believed that free will was the root of evil. And you might ask, why would they think that? It's because free will allows humanity to do bad. I don't know if there's an I or something, but free will allows people to choose to do bad, which is true, but also allows us to choose to do good things. So it's like a double-edged sword, where yeah, we can do bad, sure, but we can also do good. And again, it's just, that's how things are. So he believes that it kind of looks like a smile if you look upside down. But he believes, well, they believe that humanity is a plague, and then so far, no, because of it, he created. They start 100-year conflict between the concepts, the deities, and humanity itself to try and destroy basically all reality and rewrite it. So humanity won't have free will, and to them, to despair, humanity will be good. Humanity will be perfect. No more crimes, no more suffering, no more pain. But again, without free will, we aren't truly human. But that's what caused this. Again, this world, these three worlds used to be one. There were three major regions: the island, the lands in lands in heaven, the island. Again, I've only got the lands of heaven so far. The lands in heaven, the lands in the sea, and then the land. Well, something I forgot the third one. I haven't set up the third one yet. But basically, because of this 100-year conflict, and then Despair's fall into, not madness, but like into his fall of, like, bad, his fall, right? The other concepts, except for Void, because at this point Void was shattered because of Despair, because Despair took out the Void. Again, concepts can't be destroyed. You can destroy the manifestation, which is the concept itself, but the thing itself cannot be destroyed. So, like, let's say you destroy life. Life itself will not be destroyed. Life will continue going because that's just how life is. You can't destroy an actual thing. Like, let's say take this thing, right? I can destroy this little Kirby thing. I won't, but I could. But Kirby as an idea wouldn't be destroyed. Kirby would still be Kirby, right? That's kind of what it is. Like, you can destroy the physical thing, but you cannot destroy the idea of it. And the only thing that happens if you destroy the physical, like, manifestation, is that there's no being keeping balance of that idea. And that's what the concepts are. They all keep balance in a way. And the Void, basically, again, I think I said this before. The Void is everything and nothing. He is everywhere and nowhere. He is the in-between between realms, between life, between death, he's the in-between of everything. And because of this, he doesn't really keep balance. He's actually the most human out of the other concepts. But I'm going far. Basically, Void gets shattered. Despair loses the 100-year conflict, is imprisoned, and to imprison it, the other concepts took this giant planet that used to hold all three regions and split it into three smaller planets. Again, three major regions. The land of heavens became its own planet, the land of the seas became its own planet, and then the other region became its own planet. And then whatever was left was turned into a dense, smaller planet, like a moon almost. And that is where Despair, the physical manifestation of Despair, lies, chained up and sealed away, so Despair could never ever again cause destruction or despair on life and humanity again. And it worked. It worked for like centuries, for eons, basically. But nothing stays locked away forever. Eventually, Despair was able to not free itself, but Despair would be able to make plans. And because of this, eventually, the stories that would lead up would happen. What was I saying? I am, but yeah, there's three planets, and because of like the 100-year conflict, a lot of technology was lost. So again, it man, it's again creating a world and a lore. It's really tedious because everything has to make sense, and that is like one thing I really do not want to mess up of, is that I don't want things to not make sense. I want you to be able to look at it and be like, okay, that makes sense, or okay, yeah, that system makes sense, or this makes sense, that makes sense, and it's just it's such a headache sometimes. Oh, I'm yawning so much. But yeah, that is what the setting is. And there are three planets, each with their own stories, each with their own time period, but all with the same technology, just in different forms. Like the Senko's world would be like, his technology is very, again, Japanese. So you'd have very like futuristic like samurai, like katanas, futuristic rifles, futuristic like clans. Very futuristic. And Soul's Land, and Soul's Planet, you'd have very futuristic, medieval, like again, swords, like medieval armor, medieval things. But you'd also have different, like, because they are that and because each world is different. For instance, in Senko, his story, like, it's surrounded by water. His planet is basically all water. So you have like, they're very much like boats. You would see like a lot of like things are in boats. Like the story takes place in boats, and then you'd have these lands in heaven, which is what's sold. Let me, in the land of heavens is where Soul's story takes place in, and you'd have, again, it is all air. There's a sea, but imagine like sky block, where like it is like the lands are, they're in the air, not like skyblock where there's like nothing below. There are things below, there's a water, but the water itself is so below that you drop from the land all the way to the water, you die. And you have like there's like specific airships, there's some planes, type of planes. It's very medieval airships. And then modern day is modern day skyscrapers, cars, planes, but it's its own take. I think that's it for now, because I'm kind of running out, well, not running ideas, I'm kind of running out of sleep. My eyes are closing as we speak. I did not draw anything today. God damn it. I really gotta get better at that, talking and drawing. But I actually do like this little like eye of Zen. I gotta do more. Like I always draw eyes like narrow, sharp, and that's because of Senko. Senko has very narrow, sharp eyes because his backstory, whatever. But I think that would be it. I'm sorry I didn't talk about a lot. I will talk more about more about OCs tomorrow, or maybe Tuesday. Again, I do want to make sure I don't burn out as fast. I want to make sure I can upload, again and again. And I want to make sure, I can get used to this without forcing myself to, go in. But if you reach the end of this video, I truly appreciate you, and that you stuck by to the end. If you're wondering what the music is, I'll put a link in the description, and you go check them out. As I hope you can hear the music. I still haven't found a perfect balance to it, but But yeah, until then, I hope you enjoyed my little nightly chat and the setting of my stories. But until then, Sorry. Okay. Right now. Until then, have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. Good night. Hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.